let's look at how to use the unit circle. Remember, when we are looking at every xy coordinate point on the unit circle, the x is the cosine of that angle and the y is the sine of that angle. So, if we want to find the sine of 210 degrees, first we find that angle, which is here. Then we want cosine sine of 210 degrees. So we want the y coordinate. Thus, the sine of 210 degrees is in fact negative 1/2. What if we wanted to find the cosine of pi over 4? Then we are going to look at the angle pi over 4, which is this line. We'll look at the point that goes with it, and remember the x coordinate is the cosine. So we get cosine of pi over 4 is square root of 2 over 2. What about the tangent of 300 degrees? This is a little bit tricky. So remember, tangent is sine over cosine. So we're going to do the y coordinate over the x coordinate. Over here on the unit circle, we will look at 330. The x coordinate is square root of 3 over 2. That's the cosine. And the sine is negative 1 over 2. Now, I'll show you this the long way the first time, and then in the future when we do tangent, we'll know that there's a little trick to it. So, tangent is sine over cosine. That's negative 1/2 over positive square root of 3 over 2. Well, remember, fractions are just division signs. So that's negative 1/2 divided by square root of 3 over 2. Keep, change, flip. That's negative 1/2 times square root of 3. Either keep, change, flip, or multiply by the reciprocal. But what happens to those 2's? They cancel. So I get negative 1 over the square root of 3. Well, if I go back to the very beginning of this one, look at the denominators. They're both 2's. So when I think sine over cosine, y over x, I can ignore those denominators. They're just going to cancel out. And so I could just jump to sine is the top is a negative 1 and the bottom is a square root of 3, just looking at the numerators. And then we could rationalize this to negative square root of 3 over 3. That is the tangent. Let's look at cosecant of 4 pi over 3. Cosecant is the reciprocal of sine. So really, we want to find the angle 4 pi over 3. Okay, 4 is a plus 1, so that's going to be in the third quadrant. We found it right here. There is our angle 4 pi over 3. And then we want the sine, cosine sine. We want negative square root of 3 over 2. But we want the cosecant, so we're going to flip that upside down. 2 over negative square root of 3. And then we're going to rationalize to 2 square root of 3 over 3. There's our cosecant. Let's try secant of 120 degrees. 120 degrees is this point right here. Secant is the reciprocal of cosine. Cosine is the x coordinate, which is negative 1/2. The reciprocal of that is negative 2 over 1, or the secant is negative 2. Finally, let's look at cotangent of pi over 2. Pi over 2 is up here. Let's remember, tangent is sine over cosine, but cotangent is the flip of that, cosine over sine. In this case, that will be 0 over 1 or 0.